check this out. This is the Lamborghini Monterossa, and excuse me if I'm not pronouncing that perfectly correctly, but this is an open-top version of a Lamborghini Gallardo, and it looks absolutely stunning in person. What are your thoughts? Please let me know in the comment section down below. But here's the badge Monterossa and these custom wheels front and back. The entire package comes together very well. It's honestly crazy having no roof or windshield on this vehicle. Taking a closer look, these are the Super Trofeo seats because this was a Super Trofeo. And since these cars don't inherently have a carbon fiber tub, if you're wondering about stiffness, that is why you see the roll cage assembly reinforcing where the doors would go. Plus you have the rollover bar right above your heads. But looking around us, the forged carbon fiber completely comes together to make this car insane. Bending all the way down, look at these floating radiators for the intakes, plus some massive RAARs behind the forged carbon fiber. This is developed by Driven Concepts, and they will basically transform your Gallardo into this. It doesn't quite look like a Lamborghini anymore, doesn't it? Except for the Lamborghini motor right behind you. The forged carbon, I'm just such a fan of. And you can completely see everything towards the back with like the underhanging carbon fiber rear diffuser. Having the rear suspension completely exposed, plus with these massive Toyo tires. It looks aggressive. It looks like one of those track day only toys that you see made by Ariel, like the Ariel Atom. Essentially, the majority of the work is meant to make the car weigh less. So the curb weight, I'm told, is roughly 2,800 pounds. And then the dry weight is somewhere around 2,500 to 2,600 pounds, which is pretty impressive for what this car starts off as. Then you have 600 horsepower with that V10 in the back. Looking closer towards the exhaust, yeah, it seems like aftermarket exhaust in the rear, and then having the entire transmission just essentially sitting there. I wonder what it would be like to drive this vehicle on the street or even on the racetrack, plus shooting flames with it towards the back of the car. Walking up closer, look at this angle with all the bodywork and the sculpturing and the exit vents. It's very nicely put together. It doesn't quite look like an aftermarket package because the way it's blended in. Look at these headlights, so bending all the way down, look how futuristic this looks. A lot of harsh, hardcore angles straight out of the Lamborghini handbook. And then you do have the stereotypical hexagonal front tow hook that you get with Lamborghini. The carbon fiber doesn't end. And then to its left, we have a Koenigsegg Agera RS. This is the same Agera that set the top speed record of roughly 277.8 miles an hour. Well, what did you think of that crazy open-top Lamborghini? I do wonder how much money this conversion actually is. From what I can see on their website, there's no pricing that's listed that I can find at least. But I did want to ask all of you, what do you think in the comment section down below? Are you a fan of this open-top version of a Lamborghini Gallardo? It's pretty crazy in person. Doesn't quite look like a Lamborghini, but here in this channel, you know, I had to share with all of you today, just like all of our other car adventures and vlogs. Imagine that thing driving on the racetrack. I do know Lamborghini has made their own version of an open-top vehicle. As you can see to my left, Lamborghini has made their own version of an open-top Aventador. It's pretty crazy. No, it's not an official production car, it's just a concept, but they have made it before, and it is pretty spectacular. It's also in a lot of cool video games that have come out recently, like Forza Horizon 5. But the whole idea of a speedster version of a Lamborghini is very exciting. And if you think about it, Lamborghini really isn't touching base with this field, this market, because you do have the Ferrari Monza, you have the McLaren Elva that we drove last year, the $2 million Elva, but that is a open-top speedster model with no roof whatsoever and basically no windshield. When I drove the Elva, the whole mentality behind it was that they're creating like a fake windshield almost by redirecting the air with the pressure pushing it upwards, the concentrated force of the air going underneath the front hood assembly and being forced upwards kind of created like a bubble. But I did feel a pretty good amount of wind like hitting me in the face. It was interesting because that car was tracked later that day at the racetrack of Auto Club Speedway, and they're telling me how when they're driving it, their helmet, they can feel all the air just hit their head. It's like the forces are just crazy. Kind of like an open wheel car, right? And that is the best part about it. My only fear though is that driving an open top vehicle on the street, you've seen rocks and stuff and debris on the road. Imagine getting like just pelted or just hit by something. That would be unfortunate. It really would be, but no different than like a motorcycle, right? Just keep the interior clean and just keep your helmet on. Now, interestingly, the person I spoke to from this business told me they are making it California street legal, which should be pretty crazy. But again, please let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think of this open top version of a Lamborghini Gallardo? And I know I don't pronounce the Italian names perfectly. Don't get too mad at me. I'm just a normal person. That's it. I'm going to make this statement right now. Yes, I think Lamborghini needs to make a new open-top version of any of their cars just because of how spectacular that they always turn out to be. Just imagine having a screaming V10 or V12 right behind you with no roof. It's a pretty crazy idea, isn't it? Especially if you can find a way to get like a manual into a Lamborghini. I know Lamborghini would never officially do that because the way things are going, these dual clutch transmissions are just so much faster, but the idea of being in one of these cars and revving it out and having all that wind hit you in the face is pretty spectacular. I do wonder how it's going to be street legal in California, because California is a pretty crazy and sketchy state if you ask me. So if they can actually figure out how to make this street legal, that would open up the door to a crazy new realm of possibilities for these crazy versions of Lamborghinis. Again, Ferrari is doing it, McLaren is doing it, even Aston Martin is doing it. Where's Lamborghini? They're a part of the big exotic supercar companies that bubble. We all know the engineering team can do it. Make sure to hit the like button down below if you agree with me. Just look at the Aventador J in Forza. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to smash that like button, it's helped me out. Also subscribe for much more great videos coming out your way. I'll see all of you in the next episode.